Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Heat Check Podcast. No, I'm not going to do that again. Um, you know by now, my name is Mr. Chaos. That's PR. Today, we're going to do something a little bit different. If you watch YouTube and you see any kind of sports podcast on YouTube, they all like to do redrafts. So it's not necessarily an original idea, but it's a good idea. I like it. So today, PR and I have decided that we are going to redraft the 2017 NFL draft, but we're going to change it slightly. So the rules are this: we're only drafting for our own teams, him the Bears, myself the Eagles. You make whatever trades you want. I use pre-draft uh, setup. I use the pre-draft order and then made trades from there. Paul did post-draft. So it's a little bit different. But what I want to do is I want us to go through our picks first and then read the first round of how our drafts went out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
All right. So you want to go first? You want me to go first?
You go first. I want to see what magic you were able to create
All
and
right.
the what
So
ifs.
first things first. Uh, so I did four trades. I
Okay.
traded Philly in pre-draft had the number 14 pick in the first round. So I traded the number 14 pick to the Titans. I got pick 5, pick 83 and pick 100.
Wow.
And then I traded a second round pick 37. No. I traded a second round pick number 43 and pick 100 for pick 37, so I improved on that. And then that was to the Rams. I traded the Bengals, pick 83 and pick 99. I got 73 and 116. And
Okay.
then just to give myself a leg up, I gave myself a second first round pick. I traded my round 3 pick 73 to the Cardinals, and I got the 13th pick in the first round of this draft.
So you out here just fleecing people.
Hey, I'm out here Howie Roseman and people.
Listen,
All right.
I ain't mad at it.
So my number 5 pick, I didn't want to go number 1 pick. I didn't want to
Okay.
do that. I wanted to make something because it's got to be at least a tiny bit realistic, and to
Okay.
get from 14 to 1,
That's a lot of
yeah,
moves.
there's probably players involved in that trade. So, number 5, Christian McCaffrey.
Because this is coming off of y'all Super Bowl win,
No,
correct?
this is the season of our Super
Before.
Bowl
So
win.
2017 is the year y'all won.
Yes.
You're adding a rookie Christian McCaffrey from Stanford University,
Yep.
Heisman finalist as
Yep.
y'all starting running back.
Yep.
That's insane.
Number 13, Hassan Reddick from Temple
Of course.
University.
Of course. Why not?
Yeah. Number 37, Buda Baker.
That's a clean pickup. You stacking already.
Number 116, George Kittle.
I'm like, if he's on the board, you might as well.
118, Russell Douglas.
All right. I see what you're trying to do here.
And then the last 2 picks, they're essentially 7th round picks in the 5th round. Jermaine Elamwinar.
Okay.
He's a offensive tackle, so he'd be like our third stringer practice squad OT. And then Amara Darbo, wide receiver out of Michigan. Same thing, practice squad um, or backup.
So you went with stacking the defense, which is y'all's bread and butter even to this day. So
Yep.
nothing really. You just changed a couple pieces to make it like, oh my god, this happened.
Yeah.
All right. So I only did 2 trades.
Okay.
So I did post draft. So for me, it was after San Francisco and the Bears swapped second and third picks. So I have the second overall pick versus the third overall pick. So I traded away my second round pick, my 45th pick, to Seattle. Just that. However, What I got back in return for this 45th pick was highway robbery.
So you out here Howie Rosemaning dudes too.
So for again, this is the second round 45th overall pick in the 27th draft. I traded it to Seattle and I got in return one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 picks. Some of them I wasn't able to use because we only went
Yeah.
to 5 rounds. But if this was reality, we swapped second round picks. They took my 45th. I took their 58. I took their third round pick, the 95th overall, their fourth round pick for 111th, sixth round, seventh round, both of their seventh round picks, and then a
The
fifth
prior
round pick
year.
for next year.
Yeah, that's
So
funny.
I got 6 27 round picks plus one 2018th round pick. Then I traded with Indianapolis for our fourth round. We swapped fourth round picks, plus they sent me their fifth round pick for the same year. So in total, I drafted a lot for 2017. Chicago Bears, this is how you do it. So this 2017 had stacked players that were noticeable, that were top tier talents before they even came into the league, and then some sleeper picks that came to fruition later on in a few years that we
Mhm.
didn't see coming. Correct? We can agree to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
This draft, seeing it now, this draft was
I mean, yeah,
stacked.
just look at the 5 out of the 7 people that I named in there are.
So remember that because
Yeah.
you're about to be like, what in the hell?
All right.
So with my second overall pick, we drafted Myles Garrett.
Okay. That's interesting.
He was Cleveland went with somebody else, and I'm like, as much as I would have wanted to, we should have drafted Mahomes. I cannot not select Myles Garrett as the best available player in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been gone.
So, granted, I was hoping and praying that possibly maybe Mahomes or somebody would have been left, but clearly they didn't make it past the first round. So, with my second round pick, with the 58th overall pick, I drafted Marcus Williams, cornerback. Granted, he was a little slow early in New Orleans, but he's picked up in Baltimore. He's earning his paycheck. Then with my 95th pick, this is where it starts to get real interesting.
You went late round heavy. I went super early
Heavy,
superstar
my
round
guy.
heavy.
But this is the thing. I picked up talent. So with my third overall pick period in the draft, Cooper Kupp.
As soon as you said I picked up talent, I was like, I fucking forgot that Cooper Kupp was in this draft.
So I picked my 95th pick was Cooper Kupp, which is the fact that he was still on the board. I'm like, I'd be dumb not to pick him up. You know what I'm saying?
and we also have the hindsight of knowing their
Right.
performance.
Knowing what we know now,
Yeah,
this makes sense. Being him still being there late in the
because Cooper Kupp is, if he has,
he
depending on his next year, if he just comes out and smashes next year, I mean, he's in the running for the title of him. Like the dude
like
is.
if he can replicate what he did when he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, like, and I'm
I
not
mean, he
saying
won the
to
Triple Crown,
literally
didn't he?
yes. So I'm not saying that he has to get that exact numbers, but if he
But
can
yeah,
catch like
that's
12, 1,300 yards, 11 touchdowns, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just get maybe
yeah,
95, 100 receptions for a short receiver of his stature.
yeah.
You know, there's not many receivers of his stature that we can name that could do what he could do on the field. Like it's not
No,
like Wes Welker, people of that nature. But I saw him, I grabbed him.
hell yeah.
So then with my 111th pick, I'm like, I was very hesitant, but it's like I need this since Eddie Jackson was no longer available. This was
Mhm.
just the next available defensive back that was on the board that I wanted to draft. Cameron Sutton. It's not the worst pick. He's
He's
solid.
serviceable.
Right. He fits the bill for what I need on the defensive side. And then the very next pick, because I had the 111th and the 112th, I picked up George Kittle.
Yeah.
Again, why
If he's
not?
there, why wouldn't you?
I'm like, he's a catcher. He can block.
Yeah, I was about to say
He's an all around
number
tight end.
He's one of the three best tight ends in the league. Him, Travis Kelsey, Dallas Goddard. Like,
Like
if you can't get if you have a chance to get the one of the three best tight ends
tight
in
end
the league,
university in itself.
yeah, why wouldn't you?
So that was that. So then our quarterback room clearly is not that great. So I was like, I need to find somebody. So I
Josh
picked.
Dobbs.
He was the best
Yeah.
available quarterback. I'm like, I wasn't. They Peterman wasn't gonna happen. I'm like, I didn't know anybody else that was because even in college, Joshua Dobbs was still pretty solid as a quarterback in Tennessee. So it it just made sense.
I mean, I don't think Josh Dobbs would be bad for you guys. I mean, it saves you guys
A lot of
from the
money
whole Mitchell Trubisky
right
experiment that didn't work. And it gives you somebody who
can hold
obviously looking at 2023, he's smart enough and good enough to have stuck around this entire time.
correct,
It's not a bad pickup, and you're
and
getting into
he could
what,
be a
112?
no, he was 137.
Yeah, so
So it was a solid steal. Seeing where he is now, it's
mhm.
not the worst spot to draft him for the because again, he is can he be a future like franchise? We don't know. I'm
I
like because
mean,
he
it could have
hasn't
been worse. Your only option could have been Deshaun Kaiser or whatever his name is.
right.
Like,
So I'm like Joshua Dobbs hasn't had outside of this year with Arizona and the 2 games with Minnesota, he hasn't had the time to actually prove what he can be as a quarterback. But clearly, you're going into the Minnesota situation the way that he did and able to pull off a comeback victory and pull off a win in your first week there. So it's like it's not like he doesn't know how to play the game.
so for you guys who aren't listening, or who are listening who don't know, um, Josh Dobbs literally got to Minnesota, was told by Jonathan Gannon that he was going to be the quarterback in Arizona until Kyler Murray came back. The
Right.
next day, he got a text saying, "Hey, you need to come to coach's office." Goes to coach's office. He's like, "Hey, you got traded to Minnesota." The next day, goes in there. I think he gets there on like a Thursday, and they're playing on
Yeah,
Sunday.
yeah. He
So
didn't have that much time to turn around
you
and
don't
learn the
learn,
playbook.
you can't learn the playbook that way. You can't learn your teammates' names that way. You can't. He came in and led a game winning drive
And
when
the
the
only reason
coach,
why he came in is because their rookie quarterback that was taking over Kirk Cousins got hurt in the middle of the game. So
yeah,
it was his situation.
it's
His
nuts.
his first week in Minnesota is unheard of, unmatched,
The
and
coach
probably
had
can't.
to explain the plays to him before he called them. Like, that is such a disadvantage. And for you to look, I'm not saying Josh Dobbs, we are not saying Josh Dobbs is going to be Tom Brady. That's not what this is. But you have to give a guy his props for going in
Yes,
on 4 days' notice and leading a game winning drive in the NFL when
you
all
don't
the
know the playbook,
expectations, you don't know the playbook, and Kirk Cousins was finally starting to turn around and have this team winning. You come in and continue winning. I'm not saying Josh Dobbs is the next Brock Purdy, but he could be.
and then this is the craziest part about that whole situation. One, like you said, he had like 3 4 days to to know a play and didn't actually know the playbook going into that first game. So then he had a week's time to prep and everything. Gets another win with the actual team one rep, all that jazz. And now you have the potential of getting one of the top receivers to come back for you in Jay Jetta. Like he's
Yeah.
getting handed a silver platter in Minnesota. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
wish they still had Dalvin Cooks for him.
like it's Josh
But
Dobbs
yeah.
could potentially set himself up to get a Geno Smith contract somewhere.
I
I'm
mean,
not saying
look,
as much, but he can be setting himself up for the next 2 3 years to get a decent sized contract on a team that needs a quarterback, wherever that may be.
yeah. All right.
You know what
Let's
I'm saying?
finish your draft because I
So
got
my
some
last,
Geno thoughts.
so my last 2 picks, it just made sense. I picked up James Conner with 147. He's a
Uh-huh.
solid running back. You know, he's still to this day he's still pretty solid. And then I picked up Adam Biznawati from Pittsburgh, my offensive tackle. I don't know who he
Practice
is,
squad guy.
but um, overall, I feel like I added value to we already have, especially on the defensive side. Since everybody in Mama knows we want to be a defensive team, we're not very strong on offense. We're not, for some reason, we don't want to value offense as a key component to our game. But whatever. So I went with what we usually do. I went defense, and I went defense heavy in the first couple rounds, but I also made sure that I had weapons for Josh Dobbs, to be
Yeah,
able to because having Cooper Cup and George Kittle as somebody to run to throw to, I'm like, that's heaven for any quarterback.
that's
That's heaven.
having George Kittle by himself. Even if you didn't get Cooper Cup, George Kittle by himself opens your run game up
Yeah,
so much because
because
he's one of the best, maybe the best blocking tight end in the league.
Kelsey's not a blocking tight end as
No,
much as George Kittle is, and that's okay.
and Dallas can do it, and Dallas does it really well, but he's still a receiving tight end more so.
George Kittle is definitely a
Mhm.
pass blocking tight end, but the fact that he still has hands and can do routes just like the best of the tight ends.
And he's a leader.
So I'm like,
Yeah.
it just George Kittle being able to be available in that late in the third, fourth round it's a steal. And you're an idiot if you don't draft him. And
Yeah.
apparently a bunch of people did because he landed in San Francisco in the fourth round.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
whatever. But
All
yeah,
right. So let's do. I'm gonna. You know what? We're only 17 minutes in. That went way faster than I thought.
it's
So we
okay
could
though.
probably read all 5 rounds of our drafts, just only hitting on a couple of a couple people per round. All right. So my first round went like this. Miles Garrett went to the Browns, of
Which is
course.
just weird that mine didn't happen that way.
Solomon Thomas went to the Niners.
Okay.
Marshawn Lattimore went to the Bears.
Whew.
OJ Howard went to the Jags. I got CMC. The Jets still drafted Jamal Adams.
They're
The
hard.
Chargers got Jonathan Allen. The Panthers
Interesting.
got Corey Davis. The Bengals got Mike Williams.
Whoo!
The Buffalo Bills got Mitchell Trubisky.
I'm like, that ended up happening in real life.
Yeah. Reuben Foster went to the Saints. That's not a bad pickup at all. Deshaun Watson went to the Browns.
Of course.
Hassan Reddick went to me. Marlon Humphrey went to the Titans.
Okay.
Derek Barnett went to the Colts. John Ross went to the Ravens. Fournette went to the Commanders.
Interesting.
Njoku went to the Titans. Taco Charlton went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ryan Ramczyk went to the Broncos, which would be huge because he's a ginormous player for the Saints.
Yeah.
He's like a generational player for the Saints. Garyon Conley went to the Lions. Forrest Lamp went to the Dolphins. Cam Robinson to the Giants. Charles Harris to the Raiders. Garrett Bowles to the Texans, which again would have been huge because Bowles has been generational for the Broncos. Malik Hooker went to the Seahawks. Patty Mahomes goes to the Chiefs at 27, which is so crazy that it still happened that way.
Some of these picks is ridiculous.
Malik McDowell went to the Cowboys. Tre'Davious White went to the Packers.
Okay.
Jabril Peppers went to the Steelers.
Whoo, that would have been nasty.
TJ Watt went to the Falcons.
Oh, what a waste.
And Dalvin Cook went to the Saints.
That would have been something.
Yeah. All right.
That would have been something.
Round 2. Takaris McKinley went to the Browns. I don't know who that is. Kevin King went to the Niners. Caleb Brantley went to the Jags. Obi Melifonwu went to the Bears. He's a safety. We got Buda Baker. Juju went to the Chargers. Adoree Jackson went to the Jets. Quincy Wilson went to the Panthers. Tim Williams went to the Bengals. Evan Ingram went to the Saints.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm just gonna hit a couple. I'm just gonna hit the cooler ones. Zach Cunningham, who plays for the Eagles, went to the Cardinals. Sidney Jones went to the Ravens. Joe Mixon went to the Bucks. Alvin Kamara went to the Broncos. Let's see. Desmond King went to the Dolphins. Fabian Moreau went to the Steelers. All right. 3. Curtis Samuel to the Browns. Samaje P. Ryan to the Niners. Since CMC isn't there, that's not a
Because you
bad
stole
pickup.
him.
Yeah. Uh, Larry Ogunjobi to the Bears. Ethan Pacic to offensive line. All right, let's see. Cooper Cup went to the Cardinals in this one at pick 73.
He probably would not have had the same career.
No. Shaquille Griffin went to the Saints, which would not have been a bad pickup for them. Let's see. Uh, Kareem Hunt went to the Packers.
Nice.
Let's see. At this point, it's all just pretty much no names. Josh Dobbs went to the Niners in round 5.
In
Chris
Madden.
Godwin went to the Chargers at 113.
That's a steal.
Cameron Sutton went to the Commanders at 114. Chicago. All right, so I got George Kittle at 16. The Chicago Bears at 117 draft Deontay Foreman.
I'm like,
That's not a
here we
bad
are
for
now.
117.
I'm like, and here he is now, running his life away with us.
Let's see. Matt Collins. I don't know if you even know him. He used to he played for us on the year we won the Super Bowl. Um, he's trash. He went to Detroit. Tariq Cohen went to the Raiders.
That was interesting.
Kenny Galladay went to the Cowgirls. Uh, let's see.
I forgot he was in this draft.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. There's not Nathan Jerry, who Philly drafted in the original draft, went to the Chargers. By the time you get down here, like it's so. Donnell Pumphrey went to the Steelers. Xavier Woods went to the Bengals. James Conner went to the Dolphins at 178. That's a you talk about a steal, Jesus. And that's pretty much it for anybody with names.
All right.
Let's run down your draft.
So round 1, the Browns picked Solomon Thomas as their first overall pick. We picked Myles Garrett. The Niners picked Malik Hooker. The Jaguars picked up Jonathan Allen. The Titans picked up Marshawn Lattimore. The Jets picked up Jamal Adams again. The Chargers picked up Mike Williams, but the Panthers picked up Leonard Fournette over CMC. Whatever.
Fournette's career might have actually blossomed if he was in
Who
anywhere.
knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
So then Reuben Foster went to the Bengals, and here's where it gets a little weird. With the 10th pick, the Kansas City Chiefs select Mitchell Trubisky.
Ooh.
Then the Saints pick up Hassan Reddick.
Mm.
The Texans still draft Deshaun Watson. The Cardinals picked up John Ross. You guys select none other than Dalvin Cook from Florida State.
It's not a bad pickup. That's
Then
not
the
a bad
Colts
pickup at
picked
all.
up Christian McCaffrey.
Why the fuck would we take that? Fuck.
Then the Ravens pick up Derek Bennett.
You know what? Derek Barnett. You know what I
Barnett,
think
sorry.
is funny is I think going into this draft, now that I think about it, because that's the year, like I said, we won the Super Bowl. I think CMC got a lot of discount because he's milky. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a white running back. Like how often?
And
Is that?
legacy
Yeah.
with his
So
dad and everything. So, but
you,
I'm like, he's proven that he is him.
oh yeah, he's completely different
Well
than his
over.
dad. Yeah.
Well over. He's proven that he is him. So the Commanders picked up Charles Harris,
Okay.
defensive line. The Titans picked up Corey Davis. The Bucks picked up OJ Howard, which he ended up there anyway. Broncos picked up Ryan Ramczyk. The Lions picked up Garyon Conley.
Yep.
Dolphins picked up Forrest Lamp.
Yep.
Giants picked up Taco. The Raiders got Marlon Humphrey. Interesting.
That would be interesting.
Yes. The Browns picked up Takaris McKinley. The Falcons picked up Malik McDowell. Bills picked up Tadarius White. The Cowboys picked up Jabril Peppers. The Browns drafted Deshaun Kaiser in the first round. Whatever.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh picked up Jared Davis. Niners picked up Kevin King. And then to end up in the first round, the Saints picked up Quincy Wilson. The second round is where it gets a little interesting, I think, because
Okay.
does it make sense how this landed the way that it landed? TJ Watt ends up with the Green Bay Packers. That
Okay.
would have been insane.
Aaron Rodgers and TJ Watt on the same team. Two conspiracy theorists like crazy tinfoil. I don't know. But athletically, that would have been.
Insane. And
He
then the
could have
fact that
been the
he gets to
next.
stay home
He could.
in
He could have been the next coming of Clay Matthews.
like it could have been insane if
Yeah.
that would have happened. But
Yeah.
it never
Didn't.
happened. The Jacksonville Jaguars select David Njoku. Interesting. Seahawks pick up Cam Robinson. Cardinals do Adoree Jackson. And here's where it just gets weird.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills with the 37th pick in the NFL draft pick up Patty Mahomes. What? Now, granted, this is before Diggs.
That still doesn't even sound right. Like
It's weird to say out loud.
Patty Mahomes on any other time. I could not, in good conscience, draft Patty Mahomes. One, because we won the Super Bowl this year, and Carson was actually MVP level. Um, but two,
That's weird.
I can't see Patrick Mahomes in a midnight green Eagles. I just can't. You can't. He
But
belongs in that
imagine,
red and
imagine
gold.
though, if he would have went to Buffalo, and then a couple years later you get
They got
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs.
Like, imagine that happening a couple years after you get drafted. You're able to get Patty Mahomes and get Stephon Diggs in a trade that just blew up the NFL. That combination would have been
Yeah.
ridiculous. So the next pick, Buda Baker goes to the Chargers. Awuzie goes to the Jets. Sidney Jones goes to the Panthers. Let's roll down. Joe Mixon goes to the Saints in the 42nd pick. Y'all pick up in the 43rd pick with Jalen Tabor.
I don't know who that is.
Me neither. Curtis Samuel goes to the Rams. Let's see. Let's see. Alvin Kamara ends up getting drafted by the Washington Commanders. Juju goes to Detroit. Let's see what else. Marcus Williams. We draft Marcus Williams. Duh. Let's see. Let me see. Larry Ogojobi. He goes to the Packers. Josh Jones goes to the Steelers. All right, that's the second round. Third round. I'm trying to see anything that pops out. DD Westbrook at the time, he was a good receiver coming out of OU. He went to the Bengals.
The ODU guy, Old Dominion guy.
No, Oklahoma.
Oh,
I'm trying to think. There's not Nathan Peterman went to the Jets. We know how that would have ended up.
yeah. I mean, it is so rare to look back on anything past the fourth round and be like, "Yo, I know all of
What
these."
happened?
Like, I mean, Dallas Goddard was a fifth round pick. I
Yeah.
think Cooper Cup was a fifth round pick.
I think he was either fourth or fifth round pick. And
So you can find big names to come out of the
yeah,
third, fourth,
Eddie
fifth round.
Jackson went to the Bucks. Imagine that.
I think when did AJ Brown got drafted by Tennessee? I don't.
I
Was he a
think it
fifth
was
round
was
pick?
he
AJ Brown draft.
Chris Godwin went to the Chargers. Deontay
No,
Foreman went to the Rams.
AJ Brown wasn't selected till 51st in 2019.
So that was second round pick. I believe
Uh,
that's the second round. I believe.
51st. Yeah,
I want to believe that's like late second round.
late second round.
I'm
That's
like
crazy,
again,
right?
you I think what people fail to realize, yes, you want to have a good draft pick in the first round, right? Like obviously you want to get the best available player in the first round, especially if you're like in the lottery pick, like in top 15 picks, you want to be able to select the best available that's going to be the best fit for your team, right?
Yep.
But we all know the meat and potatoes of most teams, those draft picks are between the third and the fifth, possibly sixth round. Like that's where you get your sleeper picks, your like oh my God, how did he slip so far down? And then again, you can't really foresee the future because again, there's a lot of lottery picks that you get that get drafted in the first round or even in the second round that you're expecting these players to be these generational type players and whatnot, and they don't pan out. You know,
Right.
college and NFL are two different monsters, two different machines. I'm like, you for example, here's a good example. Shannon Sharp, he went to a HBCU school, right?
Hmm.
You don't see a lot of HBCU colleges making it into the draft like that, let alone get drafted early on. It just doesn't happen. But Shannon Sharp got 14 years in, three Super Bowls, a Hall of Fame career, and you can't tell me that he's not one of the top tight ends to ever play this game. And it's like,
Wasn't he like a fifth or sixth round pick?
I believe so. I'm
Yeah.
like, the man got drafted while he was working out in the gym with his brother.
You don't have to say nothing else except for Tom fucking Brady.
I'm like, it's just
He's
it's
a
a proven
seventh
fact.
round pick.
It's a proven fact that yes, you want to select your franchise player in the first round, possibly second round, but you never know what you're going to fall into when you get into those deep late rounds in the third day of the draft. Like you
There,
don't know what you're getting.
yeah, there's a reason that Tom Brady was able to stay with the Patriots so long. You get a seventh round pick, so that means there's no fifth round, there's no fifth year option for him,
Right.
right? You give him 4 years.
And
Tom Brady,
cheap.
yeah, very cheap. You're getting him essentially rookie minimum,
You don't have to
right?
worry about paying them much. I'm like, and if it doesn't work out, you're
So
not losing out on much.
Testaverde goes down in his first year.
No, it was Bledsoe.
Bledsoe,
Bledsoe went out, right?
Bledsoe
Drew
in his
Bledsoe
first
went
year.
out, yeah, and his first rookie year and took over.
And look, if you go back and you look at the Tom Brady contracts, he always did team friendly deals because he wanted to let the talent build around him.
Right.
This guy was a seventh round pick. And if you ask 99 out of 100 people, they will tell you he's the greatest quarterback, maybe even football player to ever have played the game. And we see the effect that not having him has on Bill Belichick.
Proven
So
fact.
your draft spot doesn't mean shit. Jalen
Nope.
Hurts, second round draft pick, number 53, right? We drafted him when everybody was like, you have $100 million quarterback. Yeah. We also watched him fall on his fucking face all year.
And that listen, as a quarterback, look what happened with Tony Romo. When you break your back, it it's
You're
especially
not
when
the
you're a
same,
mobile quarterback like Wentz was. It's hard to move around. And it's not saying that you're not still capable. Because
but
when you're
you
in the
can't do it at the
NFL,
same level.
you have experts, you have the doctors, you have the training facility, you have the trainers, you have the rehab to be able to bounce back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like us regular folks when we go, if
Yeah.
we tear our ACL, it takes us a year or two to it. Let's put it this way: when you have a major injury, it's more than just recovering from the injury. You have to mentally recover as well, because it's not like you broke a finger or you broke a toe.
No, you
You
broke your
injured,
back.
you broke your back, you tore your ACL, you tore all the ligaments in your knee, or you tore something in your shoulder. Like, especially when you're a quarterback that's that has a chance of getting on put on your back multiple times in a game. I'm like, it's in your brain. And so if you can't recover mentally from that, it's gonna eat you alive for your whole career. So it's just like being drafted in the late rounds doesn't always mean you're going to have this mediocre career. It doesn't
Nope.
always work out that way.
Nope.
Brock Purdy is another example. Literally, the last pick in the draft, and now he is the starting quarterback for one of the most talented teams in the NFL right now. You know
Took
what I'm
him
saying?
to the NFC title game in his first year. Like
And it
it's
was
unheard
him
of.
as a third, third string quarterback because both of your quarterbacks got hurt middle of the season.
And not only a third, he outplayed
Both
both
of
of
them.
them.
And this
Like
is the thing: you traded for Jimmy G a few years back.
and
He was getting injured. Then you traded picks to get Trey Lance. He kept getting injured. So now you got this last pick in the draft coming in. It's like, hey, my guy, here are the keys to the team. Show me what you got.
and you take him to the fucking NFC title game.
And now you're having in them. Yes, you went on a 3-game losing streak this year.
But
That's
you
fine.
also lost
But
Debo Samuel. You
but
also
you're
lost
also still one of
yeah.
the top teams in the NFL offensively and defensively, and you just traded for Chase Young. So I'm like, the guy
He's
is on a
effective.
he's effective. He's a game manager. At the end of the day, we're not expecting every quarterback in the NFL to be an elite quarterback. Again, we had this discussion last week. I need you to be able to manage this game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't let these opportunities that you get offensively just get washed away. So I'm like, Cooper Cup is an example, Shannon Sharp, Tom Brady, Jalen Hurts. Like, Mitchell Trubisky got drafted second overall in 2017, and now he's a backup in Pittsburgh.
Carson Wentz got
He's a
drafted second
backup in
overall,
LA right now. Got tossed around like a bag of like
and
just
had to wait half a year to find somebody willing to take
so.
him. And
Being
his deal
drafted
is
in the top 15 doesn't mean you got a career.
no, his deal is so bad they won't disclose. The LA won't disclose the figures. I think he's on a vet minimum.
Like, it's
That's crazy. But like,
regardless where you get drafted, you still one have to prove the
I mean,
talent
look
that
at
you.
you want to talk draft positions really don't matter. Baker fucking Mayfield.
He's
I,
bounced around in what? He's on his
dude,
fourth team now,
he's on his fourth team.
and
He
he's the
came
number one
in.
overall number one overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner.
He came into Cleveland, gave him their best record in like 30 some odd years,
Got him to the playoffs for the first time in how
took them to
long?
the playoffs as a rookie, and then the coaching just shit the bed. They went to Freddie Kitchens, like,
And
what
they
the
had
fuck are you
weapons.
doing? Yeah, oh
You had
yeah.
Kareem Hunt, you had
David
Land,
Njoku.
you had Javaris Landry, you had Odell Beckham, you had the squad, and then you already had a stacked defense. You had everything in place for Cleveland, and y'all, like you said, they just shit the bed.
I don't get it. I don't understand like I don't think I'm not a real big fan of Baker as a person. He just
He's a douche.
yeah, it comes off like that to me. Not to be
But he has the
disrespectful,
skills.
but he yes, absolutely. He proved time and time and time and time again. Look, he went into LA. The first game he went into LA last year, he won that game,
Yeah.
right? Tampa Bay, he's had Tampa Bay. I think they're either at 500 or above
I
500.
think they're at 500 or just one game, like you said.
Yeah.
But they're like
So
right there with the Saints for the NFC South title.
and
Not
that's
saying that that's great, but
and
whatever.
that's yeah, I was about to say it's the NFC South, but he's not on a stacked team with the Bucks. He's just not. He's
But he's
got
still pulling off wins. That's the
yes,
thing.
he's got a couple of guys. I mean, Rashad White, his running back is.
You still got Mike Evans,
You still got Mike Evans. Who's the other dude?
Godwin. You still got Godwin on the other
Is
side.
Godwin there? Or did he get
Yeah,
injured?
Chris Godwin is still there.
Okay,
I
I thought
think
one of the
OJ. I think OJ Howard is still the tight end there. I believe.
yeah,
But I'm like, again, he doesn't have, like you said, he doesn't have. It's
and
not
he's
the
still
same
making it
team like
work.
Cleveland,
He's
because
making it
Cleveland,
work.
right? So again, your draft selection doesn't always solidify what kind of career you have. Granted,
No.
you got it helps. The thing that irritates me when it comes to some of these draft selections is like, you get drafted to a team 9 times out of 10, you're not going to improve that much in that first year, when you, especially as a quarterback, when you're getting tossed into a team that's already just mid as hell. You're not going to improve much because you don't have the ability, not the ability, but the weapons, the personnel there, or even the coaching staff there to invest that winning type of mentality. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The thing that I will never understand is, if you're a owner and you're hiring a coach and they're building their coaching staff to a losing environment, the idea that you're expecting somebody to turn this around within a 2 to 3 year time frame is ridiculous to me. It's just it's stupid. Now, if you're going, like, let's say for example, Cleveland, when they went 1-15 and then 0-16 in 2017, they went 0-16. You got to go. You're telling me in 2 years' time you can only win one game? You got to go.
yeah. I mean, especially when you look at coaches like let's look at D'Amico Ryans, right? First time head coach,
Nobody
rookie
had faith in Texans. Nobody.
rookie quarterback. Everybody was like, okay, CJ Stroud will get a year to develop. Da, da, da. Da. No, fuck all that. This dude is going to be rookie of the year. I mean,
Not
he
a shadow
threw
of a doubt.
He threw almost 200 passes before he got his first pick. That's
He
nuts
only has 2 interceptions for the season.
for the entire, and he started every game.
15
Like
touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Like,
he's
as a rookie.
and you know what's it's so crazy that I'm going to say this because my quarterback and one of my receivers is in this conversation. You got to put CJ Stroud in MVP conversation, man. You have to. 15 to
It would be
2.
disrespectful not to.
Yeah.
Is he gonna win it?
No.
Probably not.
It's either
But
going
you
to
gotta have to at least entertain the idea
yeah,
because this is unheard of. It's just
for a rookie.
it, you know,
Now, the
and
only
especially for a team that everybody already was like, y'all are probably gonna win 2-3 games for the year,
with a defensive head coach
and
who's
they are balling.
their offense is one of the best. I would say it goes like this. I would say as far as like strikeability and just we're going to kill you with points, it goes Miami, Philly, Houston.
I'm like, you don't
And
know
then
what
you've got
kind of
San Francisco and guys like that, but
to
Houston,
have Houston in that top 5 offense discussion is mind boggling.
considering yeah, they haven't won like the last 2 years they hadn't won a
Just
combination of 5
seeing what they
games.
how they played last year, like to
Dude,
this year, it's night and day. Night
Lovey
and
Smith
day.
was not it. He was not it for them.
I also
And it's
don't
not
think it's all on
it's
Lovey
not
Smith.
yeah, oh no. It's not his fault cuz
Houston set him up for failure.
you were dealing with the aftermath of getting rid of Bill O'Brien. You were dealing with
Deshaun Watson,
Deshaun Watson's
just the
scandalous
whole
and
aftermath of
yeah.
that.
So
It was a lot. Them 2 years was something serious because they went through what 2 head coaches in that 2 year
yeah,
span, and so now, like you said, you got D'Amico Ryan, which he played there, so he has credibility there as a player already.
and he was a star on
Right,
like a stud
right.
on defense for Philly, for Houston,
So he has the Houston
and
defense.
for San Francisco. I think he
I
played for
think he
them.
did for like the
Yeah,
last. I'm like, he
yeah.
has that defense ticking. He has it ticking. I'm like, are they the greatest defense in the league right
I was
now?
about to say,
No,
name me 3 players on their defense
I cannot.
that's not Derek Stingley.
I can't.
Yeah, it
Again,
doesn't
that
matter.
doesn't matter. You,
This is
at the
another
end of the
example.
day, if you're winning the games, how it looks, it does not matter.
As an
You
Eagles fan, I have to say fucking thank you. Can
you're
somebody please tell fucking Colin Cowherd and Nick fucking Wright
I
that 8
don't
and 1 is
care.
still 8 and 1?
Are they pretty ugly? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, on that paper, on that stat line, when you look up the standings, what does it say?
Dub.
That's it. When it comes to the playoffs, okay, let's see what happens. Yes, the regular season, it only holds so much weight because it's for seeding and all that
Yep.
jazz. And the playoffs is a whole new season.
Because you're
Anybody
getting
that
the
watched the
best of
game,
the
no,
best of the best of the
everybody
best.
knows that because
Yep.
now you're getting all the good teams to play in one season because the playoffs start. So everybody's 0-0 when you get to the playoffs. I understand. However, you have to win games to be able to get to where you're going. And if that means you got to beat some bad teams, again, I didn't make the schedule. Number one. Number two, I didn't injure any players that are injured on these teams that make these teams worse. That is not my team's fault. I am playing the team that's on the field. And if I beat them because they are not as good as they should be, again,
That's not
that's
my
not my
fault.
fault.
Or my problem. That's
That
the other
sounds like
thing.
a you problem.
Yes. This is what kills me, right? Like last year, when we traded for AJ Brown, it blew the NFL apart. People were like, "What the fuck? Why did Tennessee let what the fuck?"
Crumbs.
And then it started happening. Everybody was like, "Oh shit, Jalen Hurts can throw a deep ball." Oh
Because he
shit,
has somebody to throw to now.
exactly. Oh shit, they have a receiver who literally 50-50 balls don't exist. If it's up there
He's
and
getting it
the defender's not dragging him down by his collar, AJ's going to get that ball.
every time.
This is the thing. Like think about it. Coaches, this is how big coaching is, right? First year Nick Sirianni's coaching, we start 2-5 after the flower press conference, right? Start 2-5. Nick Sirianni sits down with Jeffrey Lurie and Howie and says, "All right, I'm going to give up play calling responsibility to Shane Steichen." Cool.
And it
Second
worked.
second year as a head coach, we went to the Super Bowl.
And y'all are 8-1 in y'all's third year as a head coach.
And The only other coach who has a better record over the last 2 years than us is Andy Reid. We're something like 33 and 12 or something like that, and he's like 35 and 10 or something like that.
I need people to realize that in the last 2 years, just let's just put it in perspective. Last year, y'all went what?
14 and 3,
This year, y'all 8-1, and then his first year. What was y'all end record for y'all first
9
year?
and 8.
So you got 9-3. That's 11 losses in a 3-year span for a rookie head coach. He's not a rookie anymore, but this is his first stint as the guy for a team as far as a head coaching position. That man, what is it? The last 2 years is the first 2 years for 17 games, right?
Yeah.
All right, so that's 20. That's 34 games plus another 16. That's 50 games. We'll just say 50 games. For right now, let's just say you end up with the same record again this year. Let's say
Yep.
you get another 14-3. So that's 17 games losses in a 50 game,
It's 33 and 17.
like for 3 years again, and having two different offensive coordinators in the last 2 years. Again, for a quarterback, if you weren't there when we had this conversation last week,
Coaching matters.
a quarterback having to learn a new playbook. Look what happened with Alex Smith in San Francisco. For 7 years, he had a new offensive coordinator for 7 years. And it's not saying that Alex Smith is a bad quarterback, but when you're having to change your offensive system constantly, day in and day out, every single year,
Yeah. If you
it's
have
hard.
if you have 7 different offenses in 7 years, that's
And it may not have been 7 years, but
but yeah,
in his tenure in San Francisco, he had at least 5 to 7 different offensive coordinators calling plays in this man's ear.
yeah. I,
It's a lot for a quarterback to
I
deal
don't
with
think
that.
people realize, man, like, okay, I can use Jalen because Jalen is the best example of this, right? So his entire high school career, his father is his head coach. His current OC now was his OC in high school. So they have a bond, right? But then you leave dad and familiar coaching behind
Yeah,
to go to the number one school in the nation and get coached by the number one coach in the country in Nick Saban.
right.
Your rookie year, you shine. You are a magic man.
Right.
Come in, get to the national title game, get pulled at halftime. That for a lot of people, getting pulled at halftime in a national title game ends
Mentally,
their hopes.
their
It,
mental is gone.
yeah, Jalen not only was the first person out to congratulate Tua when they won,
He stuck around,
he stuck around the next year,
and when
came
Tua
in the
got hurt,
SEC title game when Tua like tore his ACL or something or
something in his back, I think it was hip or
something like that.
something.
Um, Jalen came in, closed out the SEC title game. They lost to Clemson in the national championship, but that's because Saban substituted Tua back in for the national title game. Then you go to
Transferred to
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
You are getting coached by Lane Kiffin,
Nope, nope, nope. Lincoln Riley.
Lincoln Riley. That's who it was. Lincoln Riley. So you're getting coached by one of the smartest up and coming young college coaches in the country. You become a runner up to Joe Burrow in the 2019 season for the Heisman Trophy. And let's think about this. If you guys don't know about that season, Joe Burrow threw 60 touchdowns that season.
And
Yeah.
won the Natty.
And won the Natty and went undefeated that year
Undefeated, went I think it was like
and
14 and
spanked
0.
Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
Tore him out the frame.
So for Jalen to come in second behind that, it says something, right? So, but think about that. So, coach and offensive coordinator, new coach and offensive coordinator, new coach and offensive coordinator. Then you go to the NFL. You get drafted into a situation that sucks behind Carson Wentz, who obviously, I don't know if you've seen the video of him after we won the Super Bowl where his head's all down and he's all pissy and doesn't want to congratulate teammates. So he gets drafted into that situation. Carson Wentz looks like a bum. Doug Peterson says, all right, come against the Saints. Jalen makes everybody like, oh shit, the Eagles got a deal. Doesn't play again that year. No, I'm lying. He closes out the year, and I think we go 3-1 or 2-2 or something like that. Anyways, next year he starts. We go 2-5. That's when Sirianni gives up playing, and he's got another new offensive coordinator. Sirianni gets hired.
Yeah.
Shane Steichen comes in, struggles. Look what happens the second year with the same offensive coordinator. Jalen Hurts goes from a 63% completion rate to a 68% completion rate. He went from like 16 touchdowns, 16 passing touchdowns to 25 passing touchdowns. Coaching and and consistency for a quarterback matters. And
Yeah.
look, this first half of the year, Jalen struggled getting used to learning from Brian Johnson again. Yes, they have that relationship, and yes, they have that history. But if you're used to playing Shane Steichen's form of football and another dude comes in, you have to take time to readjust.
Yeah.
The difference is Jalen has been adjusting for 9 weeks and we're still 8-1. Most quarterbacks, you lose your offensive coordinator and you're on a Super Bowl hangover, you're not going 8-1.
It's
Coaching
already hard
matters.
enough. It's already hard enough to repeat as a Super Bowl champion as it is. That alone in itself,
Yeah.
it hasn't been done since Tom Brady back in the early 2000s.
Yep.
So to win one, it in itself is something. To win two in a row is it's another feat. So
Shit. To
like
even
you
do
said, to go to the Super Bowl and then have to be able to replicate another season like that in itself, to stay on top. Because again, we've seen it time and time again. It happens sometimes. It doesn't happen always, but we see it happening when an offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator has statistically one of the best teams in the league. There's a good chance the next year you're gone.
uh
It's almost
and you can't blame them for taking the
right.
job.
It's almost inevitable. So to be able to still be able to produce at a level to be at the stature where y'all at now, a year later, removed from the Super Bowl, I'm like it tells you one again. Jalen Hurts, even when they're down, he's not sulking in the corner on the bench, being a little
Nope.
pouty baby. He's like, all right, let's go down the field and score a touchdown. And then it has to have a boat of confidence in him to be able to know that even with him struggling, that he has a defense that can still, keep the game remotely close to where it's not getting completely away. Because even with the Eagles and the Miami's game, you got two turnovers. He fumbled the ball and he threw an interception. You know what I'm saying? Most quarterbacks, I'm not gonna say most quarterbacks. I'm just saying
Some quarterbacks.
some quarterbacks will crumble because
Yeah.
again, it's the fact that you're sucking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and you're sucking on prime time television. You're the only game on TV, and everybody is watching you.
And
Everybody's
everything is lingering in your mind and
right.
you're remembering that last interception. That's what Jalen does so great. Is Jalen's like, all right, fuck, that sucks. Like you'll see him if you ever watch any of the mic'd up videos that they do, you'll see him with the tablet, and he'll be sitting beside his OC or he'll be sitting beside AJ or somebody, and he'll be like, AJ, did I miss that fucking wide open? And AJ's like, yeah, bro. He's like, God damn it. Like, there's nobody harder on Jalen Hurts than Jalen
So
Hurts.
that's the
And
kind of guy you want to go to war with at the end of the day. Because I'm like, yes, he got paid, and everybody knows that when you get paid 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna. There's always that jinx. That
that's the other thing. Everybody was like, Super Bowl hangover. He just got, what is it?
I don't know.
$250 million,
He got
for the
paid a
next
lot of money.
5 years or whatever the case is, right? Like he got paid a shit ton of money. So everybody's like, oh, Jalen's going to be complacent and da 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 da. And then the
He's
first
getting
half,
paid.
yeah, the first half of the season, it was, oh, yeah, they're winning, but Jalen looks bad or Jalen's not playing his best or this, that, and the third.
Winning is
Good
winning.
teams come together, right? Like this is what everybody's like. Oh, that the Chiefs are gonna run wild on the Eagles defense, like da da da. Motherfucker, do you not remember that we held Tyreek Hill to 88 yards? We held the Miami Dolphins to 10 offensive
Just
points.
look what the Lions did week 1.
It's the Chiefs are beatable. Like
They are not the same. Are they a good team?
they're
Yes,
a great team. They're the best in the
but
AFC.
this year is they different this year than it was the last 5 years.
There's
I'm
only
not,
one consistent team that has been consistent team in the entire NFL this year,
it's
and
us consistently trash.
no, because fucking Justin Fields is flash brilliance, and you're undrafted. He's an undrafted rookie.
Yeah, he was an undrafted rookie.
He's
We'll be
he
all
ain't,
right. We'll see. We'll
he
see what
ain't
happens.
bad, but yeah, we 8-1. We have the look. The whole point is this. This is why I like guys like Rich Eisen and Scott Van Pelt, because Rich Eisen says on his show all the time, if you're worried about the Eagles, you didn't watch Jalen Hurts last year, and you don't know who Nick Sirianni is because they started 2-5 and ended up in the playoffs. There's not a lot of teams who can start under 500, that far under 500, and then make it to a playoff spot.
Yeah.
I look, there are a lot of great teams in the league, right? As much as I hate to give Dallas its props, they're good. Detroit, Seattle, the NFC is looking stacked.
Yeah.
The AFC is what's surprising me this year.
It's looking shit pool.
The yo,
It looks like dog.
Josh Allen might be done, like done.
I am done defending him.
You can't because Josh Allen is now the white Dak.
That hurts.
He is. Like, think about it. Dak has talent. Josh Allen has a fuck ton of talent. They both can scramble when they need to. They both have giant arms.
They have receivers.
They have weapons. They cannot close out in big games. Dallas should have won that Philly game. We gave them that last drive, we gave them 97 chances. If I'm Dak and I have CD Lamb and I have Michael Gallup and I have Brandon Cooks in the end zone,
And you got Tony Pollard.
why am I not throwing up? If the Eagles intercepted in the end zone, oh, okay. But you threw it to CD Lamb on the 3-yard line.
I
With,
am tossing it for a 50-50 ball. And I am betting on CeeDee Lamb to come down with it every single time.
that's why you pay that man. That's why he's wide receiver 1,
Like
right?
if I know that last year there was doubts on his abilities last year when they were playing. CeeDee Lamb was just he was up and down. But this year,
He's been balling.
and
He's
my fantasy
earning it.
league thanks him for that.
Yeah,
Like
I bet. He's been earning that wide receiver 1 title, right? Like
he is shutting he's shutting the doubters down as far as who he is
and
as a
and
receiver.
yeah, and that's why I say that Josh Allen is the
You got
milky version of
Stephon
Dak.
Diggs. Like it
He
doesn't
just he Josh Allen has this problem of playing hero ball.
and he
When
needs
it
to chill
when
out.
you don't need to play hero ball. You have a top 5 wide receiver in the league right now. Arguably, like the guy has hands, he's fast as fuck. His route running is
You
impeccable.
got a decent two in Gabe Davis. You got James Cook and is Singletary still there? No, Zach Moss. No, Singletary. It's Singletary. I'm
And then
like,
didn't they just get they got a tight end too, right? Dalton
Knox.
Knox.
Knox is a solid tight end. Like, there's no excuse for Josh Allen right
And
now.
they who's their runner? Did they sign Dalvin Cook?
No. They got James Cook, his little brother.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying he
Yeah.
he has the capability to make this team great.
And your O line's not bad at all.
And your
It's not like
defense is like I don't understand how you are 5-5 right now,
it's because
or 5-4, or 4. Either way, you shouldn't be
you
this
shouldn't be with the
suckish.
talent that you have.
You
You
should
shouldn't
not
be.
suck this bad.
No, but this is what I think happens, right? Josh Allen is a great player.
Yes,
I think Josh Allen might be this generation's Phillip Rivers.
he just never. Listen, I've been saying this for I don't know how long
I
since.
don't know if that's a hot take or not, but I think he might be this generation's Phillip Rivers.
I feel like there's these quarterbacks in this league that do great in the regular season that are just magnificent. You know what I'm saying? But where are you when it matters? You know what I'm saying? Like I think there's a select quarterback group, and Peyton Manning to me, as great as he is, I still think that he underperformed in the playoffs sometimes just because
Oh, I agree.
it just didn't pan out. But in the regular season, the man again he was also in the AFC South, so he was his wins were almost guaranteed 90% of the time because you're playing at the time you're playing Jacksonville, Houston, and who was the other team? Jacksonville, Houston, Indy,
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Those teams weren't great majority of the time that Peyton was in Indy. Like they
Yeah,
were
no.
cool, but they weren't. You're not competing like it was the
Yeah,
NFC
no.
East.
Tennessee was bad.
Houston was, you know what I'm
Houston was
saying?
butt cheeks. And
And
then
then Jacksonville.
who did Jacksonville? I think when Peyton was playing, was Brunell their quarterback?
Brunel, Gerard,
Yeah.
Leftwich. I'm
So
like, they weren't like the worst teams, but it's not like you were
it
gonna bet
wasn't.
against them when it came
Yeah.
to playing Peyton. So you already had 6 wins in the bag already, 9 times out of 10. So now you just got to win 4 to 5 games just to make it into the
And
playoffs,
and you've got the playoffs.
and
I
because you're
agree.
gonna take the division,
Yeah.
so you already got a home field game in the first round of the playoffs off rip.
And I agree that he underperformed in the playoffs, but what gives him a kind of not a pass, but kind of a like, all right, yeah, I get it kind of vibe is when he won that Super Bowl in Denver, that dude had no arm left. He had no neck left. His back was gone.
His defense carried that win.
Bro, he was what, 39 when he won that?
I
40
don't
when
know,
he won that?
but you had Von Miller on your defense coming out there looking like a monster. So,
Yeah, but
but you, all, I'm like,
yeah, look, it this is the thing, right? Like,
Peyton Manning is a gamer. He's a
yeah,
planner. He will surgically destroy your defense.
yes. We have, I think this is the thing, right? Like everybody likes to compare generations and this guy's that guy. That I do it. Obviously, I just did it with freaking Philip Rivers. Um, but I really truly do think Mahomes has cemented himself as the best quarterback of this generation by far. Already two
Like,
Super
who's
Bowls
on his
in,
level right now?
two Super Bowls, two Super Bowl MVPs, and two league MVPs. That's ridiculous.
And every year as a starter, he's been at the minimum at an AFC Championship game or a Super Bowl game.
Yeah,
Period.
yeah.
All 5 years as a starter, and he could possibly do it for a 6th year in a row this year.
He could.
Like,
He
like
very could.
there's there's nobody comparable right now as far as the new quarterbacks in the league that have come in the last, we'll just say the last 5 6 years, that is even on Patty's level right now as far as accolades, stats, play, confidence in him. Like, you don't bet against Patty Mahomes.
No, I think there's only two quarterbacks in the league right now who I am fairly safe and fairly confident betting on the same way I am Patty Mahomes, and that's Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts.
The only reason why I can't say Lamar yet, it's
Injuries,
it's not even the injuries. It goes back to
playoffs.
playoffs for me.
Yeah, he can't
Like,
perform in the playoffs.
I'm
Yeah,
like, until you can show me what you can do, and I'm not expecting him to win a Super Bowl this year. Does he have a legit shot to make it to the Super Bowl? He does, because again, the AFC is a little lopsided. You know what I'm
the
saying?
AFC this year is what the NFC was last year.
It's up for grabs for
Yeah,
anybody. It's anybody's game at this point. It's Kansas City's to lose, and it's for anybody to win. Like, there's no clear cut, like, oh, this is because again, even with Baltimore, yes, they are a clean team, but
they just
they're
lost.
beatable too. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You just lost to the Cleveland Browns in a last second field goal.
yeah, and
You know,
Lamar didn't play that great that game.
so it's not that I don't trust in Lamar. I'm like, we know that he's capable of being an elite quarterback. We know that he could pass because he's passing. He's doing the things that people have doubted him. It's just now I just need you to see it come January. I need to see January. What are you gonna do in January? Because
Mhm.
again, I need to see the playoffs. I feel like when even if you don't win a Super Bowl as a quarterback, if you're able to contribute and do stuff in the playoffs for your teams and consistently go to the playoffs, win a couple games, get to title games, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? even if you're not able to make it to Super Bowl. Perfect example, Dan Marino. Never won a Super Bowl, but he was consistently always performing. You know what I'm
That
saying?
motherfucker will never buy a drink in Miami the rest of his life. I
But
tell you that.
it's you can't say that he didn't play in the regular season and in the playoffs. Jim Kelly, 4 Super Bowls in a row, lost every last one of them.
But he went to 4 fucking
But
Super Bowls.
you can't deny that he wasn't performing in the regular season and in the playoffs. You can't take that away.
That's the thing, and that's why like when people ask why does Dak get criticized so much or why does Kirk get
Can't
criticized so
do it
much,
when it matters.
this is my thing, right? Philly has played in the last couple of years. Let's see, Super Bowl last year, playoffs year before,
Yes.
missed 21 because we were shit. Was in the playoffs in 20, 19, 18, won it in 17. Like, so every single year except 2020 for the past 7 years. So 6 out of 7 years, we've either been in the playoffs, going to a conference game, or going to the Super Bowl game. The This is why. Look, I give everybody knows who knows me. I give Cowboys fans an irrational amount of shit because they like to brag about how they've got 5 rings and how they've got this. Let's settle that down for a second, and I will just make this claim. If you were not alive the last time your team hoisted a Lombardi trophy, shut the fuck up. Yes, you have history. Yes, Dallas was great. It was a great team in the past. Fantastic. You also had, I don't know, out of the 53 men, you probably had 15 Hall of Famers on your team.
Right?
So, like, yes, we get it. And you know who else that goes for? And I was just realizing this the other day. San Francisco ain't won a fucking Super Bowl in like 30 years either.
Let me just put this out there. All right. So the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl was 1995, right?
I was 9.
So since 1995, they've had accumulated one, two, three, four, 5 wins in the playoffs, right? Wonderful. Great.
Fantastic.
Guess how many of those made it past the second round after they won the wild card? Or
One.
none of them.
Yeah, that sounds right.
They've made it, the furthest they've made it since 1995 is the division
Divisional.
round, and they lose every single time.
Yeah.
And some of these division rounds, they get a first round bye because, at the time, they were a 2 seed or whatever the case is until they reformatted it a few years ago. So you still get a first round bye in some of these. And so that means you're one of the top teams in the NFC and you can't do squat. So I'm not saying that my Bears are any better. However, even though we lost, and it was a long, long, almost 2 decades ago, we did make it to a Super Bowl once in my lifetime at least. So I'm with you. If you weren't around, listen, you can pop all the VHS tapes you want in the VCR all you want.
If the technology doesn't exist to watch your team win the Super Bowl,
And
shut the
YouTube
fuck up, bro.
don't count.
Yes, you don't count. And I just want to kind of an FYI. Do you know what team has the most playoff wins in the NFC since 2000?
It ain't us.
That would be the Philadelphia Eagles with 16. So 16 out of 24 years, we've won in the playoffs 16 times. Dallas, 7, 6, 7, something like that. Maybe more. I don't know. But look, at the end of the day, it goes like this. There are great teams in the NFC. There are teams who are struggling in the NFC, and there are horrible teams in the NFC.
Yeah.
The AFC has a couple of really good teams, and then everybody else sucks. Like, look, the Pittsburgh Steelers have a winning record this year, and their offense is absolutely ass. It's the only reason. There's 2 reasons. 2 reasons that they have a winning record. One is TJ Watt. and one is what's their safety's name? Minka Fitzpatrick.
and he's hurt.
And he's hurt because it sure as shit ain't Kenny Pickens or Pickett or whatever the fuck his name is. And it sure as shit,
I think Pickett's the receiver.
no, Pickett's the quarterback, Pickens is the receiver.
I get confused. It doesn't
It,
matter. They're not doing nothing in the
their
playoffs anyway.
offense is trash. And then, you have teams who, unfortunately, to use Chicago as an example, the media made you guys out to be like, who's that dude that's on speak? James Jones.
Yeah.
He was like, how could you compare Justin Fields to Jalen Hurts? Justin Fields is a much better athlete and thrower, and
And that may be true. That may be true. However, comma,
he's not a winner. He's not
it's not
winning.
even
He's hurt.
it's not even this. It's we what y'all built around Jalen Hurts and what we built again. Y'all's offensive line is light years ahead of ours.
I
Like
think that's the difference is Philadelphia and really good teams do this. They prioritize the trenches.
again,
Chicago
for
hasn't
the
done
life
that.
of me, I don't know why we don't do that. We haven't done that in I don't know how long.
It's probably been since the 90s since you guys had the offensive line where it was like, oh shit, this is Chicago's line. Nobody's been through.
It's the constant struggle of getting these defensive coaches and not focusing on our defense is already pretty solid. I'm gonna say that now.
Yeah.
It was a late bloom, but we're getting there. We're defensively, we're okay. Are we great? No, but we're good enough. But it's like, when are we gonna shift that focus?
Onto your offense.
Like, when does that switch turn on to be like, okay, our defense is clicking. What do we need to do? And it's like, whatever that needs to look like in the offseason, I need them to figure it out. I'm
Yeah,
like,
I mean, because even if you guys get the number one and number two picks, that would pretty much guarantee you get Caleb Williams,
I don't want another quarterback.
Marvin Harrison.
I will definitely take Marvin Harrison. I will not say no, but I do not want another quarterback to be drafted. Is it going to happen? Most likely.
But
Is
this
it
is what
stupid? Yes.
you're exactly making my point. I'm not saying that you draft an offensive lineman at the number one spot. I'm
Right.
saying you trade out of number one and you get yourself second and third round capital. And then your number two pick, draft Marvin Harrison Jr. And your second and third round picks, that's when you start building your trenches. The problem with Chicago is their offensive line, bro. I think Philly last year had 8 sacks on Justin Fields in that game. You can't win. You can't sustain your quarterback if he's getting hit 8 times a game. There's a reason Joe Burrow is out for the season. He's getting smacked 20 times a game. Like, the dude is getting hits and sacked and
And
like,
he has a shitload of weapons.
and yes, he can't get to him because his O line is shit.
And
This
that's
is
the thing
why,
that
like,
irritates me. They're like, well, you guys got DJ Moore. And I was like, okay, that's great. But
he
we
should.
can't get to him.
Oh, I saw somebody on Twitter the other day saying that, and we're gonna kind of start wrapping up, guys. But I saw somebody on Twitter say DJ Moore was supposed to be like AJ Brown for Chicago, and I typed back, I was like, hold on, the Eagles have 2 for sure Hall of Famers on their offensive line. They have one of the best rated centers from Alabama and Landon Dickerson playing guard. They also have Cam Jurgens, who's 6'8", 350 playing guard. They also have Jordan Mailata playing our left tackle, who is 6'8" and almost 400 pounds. That's an immovable offensive line. Chicago doesn't have that. So for DJ Moore, the only way DJ Moore would have turned into AJ Brown for Chicago is if Justin Fields turned into the fucking Flash. Because the biggest thing is that dude runs for his life in games.
And I'm over it.
You cannot sustain your quarterback. You can't keep a franchise quarterback that way. Even if you don't draft a quarterback, who the fuck is going to want to get traded to Chicago?
Not nobody.
Nobody, because they're
Not
not
on
safe.
purpose.
They're not safe. It's insane. So I think Chicago's got work to do. Hopefully Poles can pull something out of his ass during the offseason. Because with the trade line, I swear I thought you guys were going to make big moves at the deadline, but Um, we'll see. Philly's in a good spot, but we got the Chiefs this Monday. Who are you guys placing this week?
We play. Hold, please. We play. Come on. Where are you? We play the freaking Lions.
Oh,
And Fields comes back this week.
is it at home or are you guys in
We're
Detroit?
going in Detroit, so it's
Oh,
going to be just a gigantic shit show.
yeah, divisional game in Detroit. Aiden Hutchinson is playing out of his fucking mind. Their offense is playing out of their fucking mind.
My brain hurts.
We got Kansas City on Monday night, Super Bowl rematch. What the NFL Network is calling the biggest game of the year.
I'm like, I don't know about that anymore, just because.
We'll see what happens. I look, Jalen. This is the NFL matchmakers obviously knew what they were doing, having both teams come off a bye. You want the best, most healthy game available, right?
If Taylor Swift is there, y'all losing.
Yeah. You know what's fucked up is she's an Eagles fan.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. That motherfucker Travis Kelsey flew to Argentina to see her ass. She said the Eagles who?
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah.
there's that.
I hope she's not there.
You better hope she's still on tour and not on break.
Bro, you know what? But honestly, if she was there and we spanked the Chiefs in front of her, bro, y'all would never, ever in the group chat, you would never, ever, ever hear me stop. I would never stop. Ryan couldn't shut me up.
Oh,
Nobody.
God. That would be hilarious.
Taylor, who? Yeah. So
Oh, I
the
just want
NFL,
to say, I am currently 8-2. Your boy back here, if you don't understand, he gave up his win last week so that his Eagles could win in real life, and I thank you
yeah.
ever so kindly for
You know
that.
what? I told you last week, and it'll be the same one for this week. If we look, I will get a goose egg the rest of the freaking fantasy football season.
If you
If
can
we
get your
can
little
beat the
Super Bowl,
Chiefs, the Bills, and the Niners, I'm good.
listen, that is funny.
If we come out of this 5 game stretch that we're about to have 3-2 or 4-1, I'll be a happy son bitch.
I'm just
Because
gonna
we
say this
got
right now. I don't got nothing going with my Bears, but both of my fantasy leagues right now,
our
I'm
popping.
I'm going to stay. See, this was my mistake this year. When it came to our fantasy, and this would be, I just got one thing to say after this.
You're good.
After I played Mike, not Mike, I played John and I played Ryan. Both those times, I was talking smack and I
And you
lost.
got spanked.
So I've made it a mission this year that I will no longer be talking any crap until the game is over. Till the week, till Monday night hits those 4 zeros, I will not talk any crap to any opponent because I'm 9-1 in my NFL fantasy and I'm 8-2 in this one, and I'm just trying to stay humble and appreciative of the players that I have. That I am thankful that they have been able to pull off these victories for me, and I am just thankful for the fantasy because I need to recover from that loss that I had to Ryan 3 years ago, and I cannot let
This
Squirt,
motherfucker said
my
3
brother
years ago.
Myron, I cannot let this man go on and get 3 times in a
No,
row.
three-time champ.
I
We'll never
cannot.
hear the end of
He's
it.
already 4 out of 5. He's won. No, wait, yeah, no, yeah, no. He's won 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah.
I need to remove this belt from that house in Dallas.
Well, so look, man, the problem is when I played you, none of my players wanted to perform. And like you said, I said, you know what, God,
Take
take
whatever
my
you want.
fantasy. Take it. It's cool.
And when I
Jesus, take the
say
wheel. Jesus, take the
he
wheel.
took it and I got that dub, I was like, and it
I'm good
was
with that.
super close.
But and then I played John, and this is what killed me, right? Aaron Jones didn't perform. Zach Moss only got 2 yards.
Listen,
Devontae Adams only got 86 yards, but that's 15 points. Thank God I drafted I had just picked up Noah Brown that day. Noah Brown got me 25 points.
I'm projected to win this week. I am
Um,
projected.
and then the rest of that schedule was shit. Logan Thomas got 9 points. Jerry Judy only got 6.5. The Seattle defense only got 6, and then my
I was
kicker
grateful.
was 0 for he only yeah.
I
I
was.
was so pissed. I was like,
I'm
AJ
playing
Brown's
Leroy.
on a
I'm playing
bye.
Leroy this week, and he has Justin Fields as his quarterback.
You're playing who this week?
Leroy.
He hasn't. Oof.
He's
How do
currently
you root against that?
he's for I happily. Again,
There is money and a title belt on the line, so I get
there's
it.
sacrifices that I have to make in my life, and I'll this is just gonna be one of those weeks where I have to be like, "Hey, Justin, I need you to be trash this week."
That's funny. I got Saintis. I don't know who that is.
That's one of Myron's friends.
So he's got the Prince who was promised as his quarterback, Brees Hall as his RB1, Royce Freeman as RB2.
That's bro. That was a guy that he had his wife was drafting for him. Remember?
Oh shit, that's
So
funny.
that should be an easy dub for you.
It should be. I'm scheduled to win 115 to 96.
Yeah,
But so I've got Justin Herbert as my starting quarterback, and he's playing Green Bay, so that should be 30 points.
it
Uh,
should.
Aaron Jones,
I
he's my
don't know
running
what you're
back.
gonna get out of
Uh,
him, to be
yeah.
honest.
Let's see. Ty Chandler for the Vikings. It's not great. He's scheduled to get 10 points, but AJ Brown and Devontae Adams, my wide receivers, are finally back together. Logan Thomas, Jerry Judy is my flex. Cleveland's defense.
I see
I
you.
should have started them fucking last week, idiot.
This is my lineup, and then I'm gonna tell you who I have on my bench, and I as a petty move. So I got Brock Purdy as my quarterback because Kirk Cousins got hurt.
Yeah,
Then I got ETN and James Conner as my 1 and 2 running back,
that's not a
which
bad combo.
right. And then I got CeeDee Lamb, and the only reason why I got Gabe Davis as my 2 is because Olave's on bye week, and that's that. But Gabe Davis, he's been all right. And then Kelsey came back from bye, so he's back on my tight end slot. I got James Warren, who has been the most. I don't know how I even picked that up, but he's been playing better than Najee Harris sometimes in fantasy football. Like he's my flex. I got the Cowboys defense, which should destroy Carolina.
Oh, fuck.
And then Justin
That's an
Tucker
easy
was
20
my
points.
right. Justin Tucker is my kicker. He gave me 11. So for pettiness, one, I got Houston defense on my bench for pettiness. And for an extra side of pettiness, I paid $25 to pick up Josh Dobbs for him to sit on my bench. So
That's
that way
funny.
nobody can have him.
In our league, my bench is Zach Moss, the Detroit defense, Matt Prater, Jamison Williams, Josh Downs, Noah Brown, and Deontay Foreman.
And I got Taysom Hill as a flex because he's slotted as a tight end.
Because he might as well be a fucking tight end.
So he's slotted as a tight end in fantasy football. So I can put him as a tight end or I can put him on flex.
Yeah.
But he's on bye week this week, so he's sitting on my bench. So I
Oh,
got a
New
lot
Orleans
of
got to buy this week. Yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
So I got a lot of hitters that are just sitting on the bench, and I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna be upset. It's like, bro, let me have him. That's a no.
Yeah. Dude, there's my other league is the crazy one. My other league, check this lineup out. So I have to switch I can't switch my quarterback. I might lose this week just because that Joe Burrow was my starting quarterback.
Ooh, that hurts.
Jameer Gibbs is my starting running back.
Nice,
DeAndre Swift right under him.
nice.
Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs, George Kittle, DJ Moore, the Commanders defense, and Brandon Aubrey as the kicker.
I don't think I showed y'all this before, but Lewis's son, he's in our league too. For
Yeah,
y'all
yeah.
don't know, Lewis is one of our a good friend, and his son is in the league. He's the only person that's actually tried to trade with me this year twice, and both times I wanted to reach through my phone
And
and
smack the
smack
shit
the
out
life
of
out of him. The first time he tried to trade with me was in September. He tried to give me, which I don't want it, Odell and Zach Ertz, and he was asking for CD Lamb. That's a hell no.
Mm-mm.
Then what's today? Today is the 17th, the 18th. So this was 5 days ago. This man sent me a trade request. He asked for ETN, and he said he was gonna send me Derrick Henry. Kiss my ass.
No. So I would tell you the stupidest move that I tried to make was with Lewis.
I can only imagine this.
I wanted Jalen Hurts. This is how dumb I was early in the season. This is the first. I think this is like the day after the trade or whatever. I was willing to give him T. Higgins and C.J. Stroud.
In hindsight, I would have took that.
I dropped C.J. Stroud off my lineup because
And then
he
his
said
son
no.
picked him up.
Yeah,
And he dropped a 50 bomb 2 weeks ago.
yeah, I
Jesus
know.
Christ.
Hold on. So there's that. Let's see. Ryan, 2 trade proposals.
Oh, this guy.
Mike Evans. He would have given me Mike Evans for T. Higgins. I said no.
That's not.
He tried to do that twice. He said, "What do I have to do to get Higgins?" I said, "Leroy's in my messages trying to get Higgins too."
That is hilarious.
Let's see, Leroy. Okay, so this is the funniest shit. Leroy was in my shit trying to get my players. First one, I tried to trade with him Mike Williams for George Pickens. That he said instantly no to that.
He's a Eagles guy. He's not going to do that.
But what I did get from him was okay. So we did another trade proposal. I would have got Justin Herbert, T. Higgins, and George Pickens for that. And then we did the revival of the Higgins and Stroud trade. And what eventually hit was Justin Herbert and Cam Akers for T. Higgins and George Pickens.
Ooh.
Oh no, that's not the no. The final trade was I got Cortland Sutton, Cam Akers, and Justin Herbert. He got George Pickens and T. Higgins. That's crazy. Jonathan tried to trade, or I tried to trade with John for the Eagles defense, and I was going to give him Roshan Johnson and Sky Moore. Let's see. What else? Malachi. I tried to trade him Drake London for Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
He said no. And then Cullen wanted to trade Ramondre Stevenson for Devontae Adams.
That's a hell no.
I was like, do you know if I didn't have Devontae, I'd be like 2-8 right now? Like, no, I'm not trading Devontae Adams for a running back in New England who's barely getting any play. It's not happening. Look, guys. So that's pretty much the end of it for this week.
Yeah.
We're literally just talking about fantasy and stupid shit now, which is 100% fine. So look, I want to continue doing this redraft series. Next week we can do 2018. Just for some names, in case you forgot who was in the 2018 draft, for everybody listening: Saquon Barkley, Bradley Chubb, Denzel Ward, Roquan Smith, Derwin James, Quentin Nelson, Minka Fitzpatrick, Tremaine Edmonds, Vita Vea, Josh Allen, Calvin Ridley, Harold Landry, Josh Jackson. Let's see, Lamar Jackson, Rashawn Evans, Deron Payne, Mike McGlinchey. 18's draft is a little bit more
different.
DJ Moore, Cortland Sutton. Let's see, Dallas Goedert, Mike Gesicki. These are Hayden Hurst, like Christian Kirk. That's what have I named off, like 20 names so far of big time players.
It's going to be different the way we built it, and I think we should do the same concept. I'm with that. Our team and just see what.
Yeah, I'm probably going to do a bunch of them throughout the week, post draft, pre draft, and try to figure it out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. Obviously, you guys were going to talk about our teams and how things are going. Look. If you want to give us input and you want us to talk about a certain thing, or there's things we're not talking about, or you have ideas, like maybe we do giveaways or something like that, we're on Twitter at Your Heat Check Sports. We're on Instagram hold on. I forget all of our social media stuff because it's a
It's a
lot.
lot.
Um, at your Heat Check Sports, and on Facebook is the real Heat Check Sports. I think. Let me again check on that. Uh, 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 uh. Nope, it's the Heat Check Podcast. So look, all of the DMs on all three of those are open. Find us on TikTok. It's the Heat Check Podcast. Um, DMs are always open. We have merch. Go on our Twitter page. It will be in the link tree. You can find our merch page. We have a couple of different pages. There are new designs. I've been kind of busy designing and sending designs to Paul and
He's
not,
on. He's on some stuff right now.
and I think there's some really cool designs that people will really, really dig. So please like this, subscribe, share it with your friends, retweet us, repost us.
Yeah.
So look, if you can't buy merch, I get it. I understand. A like, a subscribe, a retweet, it's
Comment
all free.
something.
It's all free. So that's all we're asking for. You got anything else you want to talk about before we bounce out of here?
I just got one thing to say.
Yep.
James Madison University, the NCAA is hoeing y'all, and they need to let y'all play in the bowl this year. That's all I got to say.
All right, Joe. So for PR, I'm Mr. Chaos. You already know what it is.
Peace.